It's time for a live playthrough of Apocalypse Chaos, which is the current game that I am enjoying and exploring. I'm going to go ahead and do a 4-player run-through of the introductory scenario. I'm not going to talk about setup and rules. We're just going to play this and discuss rules as they come up. So I believe we'll just get started. The first thing that we do in phase 1 is the arrival of the enemies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this enemy deck and I'm going to seed each vortex with these enemies. A quick note on enemies: up top is his initiative. He's got initiative of 2. This number is his hit points, and these symbols down here are his AI. This being the first enemy, he will arrive in vortex 1, which is represented by this little disc here. Because I'm playing 4 characters, there are 4 vortices on the board. This is enemy 2, and enemy 3 is a boss. He's a pretty boss. These symbols here indicate that he is a boss, and the goal of the game is to kill the 6 bosses. He shows up at vortex 3. And in vortex 4, we have another boss, and this boss has a radar symbol, so he is accompanied by another of his friends. So that is phase 1, the arrival of enemies. One thing that I do need to do is mark their hit points. So the game comes with a bunch of these little markers, and I'm going to take, for instance, this 10, and I'm going to drop it on this 10 here to indicate that he has 10 hit points. I'm going to do that for all of the enemies, and we'll get back to do phase 2. Okay, it's time for phase 2. Each of my enemies has been marked with their hit points. Phase 2 is the crux of the game. This is when we're going to take our dice and we're going to roll them. With playing 4 players, I'm going to be rolling 20 dice. So I'm going to be doing some pausing while I sort this mess out. But as we place the dice, we kind of decide our actions as well. So all these dice are the same. They're different colors for the different characters. Okay. I'll let you take a peek at those so you can play at home and decide if I'm cheating or not. I assure you that I will not be changing the faces of the die as I pause and sort and think and whatnot. And I'm going to do that now. Okay, I think I have it. I'm not exactly happy about it. I believe my green guy is going to take 3 damage, which is quite a bit. His initiative is high, and hopefully he can heal next turn. A word on dice using. Each character must have 3 of their own color on their board and can have up to 2 others. So my placements are all equal, as they each have 3 of their own and up to 2 others. Doesn't look like I used any pairs. I could pair up 2 and use them as any face that I want to, but that didn't happen this round. Okay. Turn order is based upon initiative. The least number of lightning bolts goes first. We have 1 enemy here with a 1 initiative lightning bolt on the top. He's one of our bosses. And this character has 1. Tie goes to the hero. My blue character, I have allotted a die to his initiative, which allows you to add or subtract the initiative by 1. So he'll be, this I'll subtract on this case, and he will be a 1. And my purple hero will also be a 1. My red hero is a 3. He will go last. So I'm going to start with my purple hero. My purple hero is going to go first. And I'm going to use her special ability. And her special ability is she can move any 2 enemies 1 space in either direction, or move 1 enemy 2 spaces in either direction. She is going to move this guy once that way, And I forget the plan. I think I forget the plan. I'm going to move this guy one space this way. And then she is going to shoot for 3. So the amount of damage for a ranged attack is the next available spot. So she's going to shoot for 3. And the way ranged attacks work is they have to target at least one room away. So she is in here. She would not be able to shoot this guy because he's not a room away. So she's going to target this guy who is 2 spots away, shoot him for 3. So this 9 becomes a 6. And that is her turn. She's all done. The blue guy is going to go first. And he is going to shoot for 3 as well. The star symbol, I can use the star die on any row that has a star in it. So he's going to shoot for 3. We're going to shoot the same guy for 3. So he's down to 3. And his shields will show you what they do when it's time for the enemies to attack. And he's going to use his special ability, which allows me to do any guy that I can legally target, that's what this symbol means, by either melee or ranged attack. And I get to block one of his AI circles. So I am going to block this guy's gunshot. I could have targeted either of these 2 guys. I thought about maybe blocking this, but I get more bang for my buck if I block that guy's gunshot. So this guy is all done. And now the robot, who's automatic AI1, first thing he's going to do is use the room he's in. This room allows me to close the vortex for next round. My next character is not a boss. And I have a little bit of control over where he comes out, but we'll think about that. I should probably do that now. I'm going to pause. I'm going to think about that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to close up Vortex 1. I only allotted 1 die, so I can only close 1 vortex. You are allowed to close up to 3. And then he's going to move this face of the die allows you to do initiative or movement. Triangle is movement. So he gets to move 1 spot. This is 2 spots. This is 3 spots. So he's going to move 1 spot. He's up here, and I find this a little bit weird, but it's pretty clear in the illustrations in the rule book that he can go from here to here. It's not up or down. I would say that that's a movement of 2, but the illustrations are pretty clear, so I don't think I'm cheating. And now he's there, and he's going to melee punch for 3, and we're going to finish off this guy before he even got to do anything. And what happens with the dead guy, is you flip him over and you see what we get. This is going to allow him to do 3 damage on his next range attack, or range attack of his choice, but I can only use it 1 time. So that's pretty powerful. Okay, that is initiative 1. Now I need to check to make sure there's no enemies with initiative 1, and I know there's not. That guy's got a 2, moving around the board. This guy's got a 2. These guys are all dead. And these guys have a 2. So it's the 2's turn. None of my heroes are 2. So this guy's going to go first. And you start with Vortex 1 and you work clockwise. And if there's initiative 3, you skip him and then you come back. This is blocked, so all he's going to do is he's going to move 2 spaces this way. So he's going to move 2 spaces this way. And there'll be room for him in a moment. The next guy to act, continuing clockwise around, is this guy. He's going to punch for 4. Then he's going to move, and then he's going to shoot for 3. And this is the one that's going to get me, is that shot for 3. The punch for 4, under there, he's punching the blue hero and the purple hero. But you see here, the blue hero has built his shields up to 4. And those shields not only protect himself, they protect anyone with him. There's a rule for 2 characters allowed per room, so I couldn't turtle them all in there. But anyway, his shields of 4 blocks that punch. And then he's going to move for 1. And he's going to shoot. And just like heroes, the enemy targets 1 room beyond. So he shoots through this room into here, which is where my green robot is. And he's going to take 3. So my life meter goes down 3 units. So this guy is done. I'm going to flip over his hit point indicator to remind me that I have used him. And I need to do that for this guy. Okay, and then we go around the board and we get to these 2 guys, and there's a tie. They're both 2, they're both in the same area. So the guy with more hit points goes first. He's going to punch for 5. No one's there. He's going to flip over to the opposite side of the board. So let's see if we can do this. He's going to flip over to the opposite side of the board. And then he's going to punch for 4 and shoot for 2. Now, that punch for 4 doesn't do anything because my blue hero can still absorb that 4. And then the shot for 2 is going to go into this room or beyond, and there's nothing there, so that shot doesn't do anything. And finally, he moves this way for 2. So he ends up here after all of that action. And then I flip this over to indicate that he has gone. And then finally, this guy's going to punch for 2. He's going to shoot for 2. We've already gone through blue guy's got plenty. And then he's going to move 1. And finally, it is my red guy's turn, who this shield didn't do anything. I never needed it. But I do have a shot for 2. And he can't target this guy because he's too close. There's no one on the top. So the only person he can target is this guy. He's a good target anyway because he's a boss. So this 10 is going to go down to 8. And that is the end of phase 2. Or it might be 3. That's phase 3. Phase 2 is just rolling and assigning dice. Phase 4 is to take damage if there's grenades in rooms or fire markers in rooms. There's not. I imagine there will be. So I'm going to clean this up, and we're going to start turn 2 in a moment. Okay, we're ready for turn 2. Phase A, arrival of new enemies. If you recall, Vortex 1 has been closed, so we don't need to put anyone there, but we flip it over to remind us that it's open for the next turn. This enemy goes to Vortex 2. This enemy goes to Vortex 3. And this enemy goes to Vortex 4. And let me double check that I didn't put any radar screens on the board. Nope. Nope. And no, so we're good. Okay, I'm going to give these guys some hit points and roll the dice. Why don't we give them hit points while we're paused with the dice. So starting phase 2. Oh dear. This is tough one-handed. We're going to roll this. And we'll give you a screenshot of it. And then we'll pause it and get going again. Okay, let's move this in without changing it. That way you guys can keep tabs on me if you want. Okie dokie. We're going to pause this. We're going to think about this, and we'll be back. Okay, welcome back. I think I've decided what we're going to do. Just to make sure that we're following the rules, I've got 3 of his color. I've got 3 of his color and only 2 more. I have doubled up some guns to make another shield. There's another gun under there. A movement and a special action. I've doubled up some stars to use a room action. Here I doubled up some fists to drop initiative by 1, and I have some shots. I think it's pretty interesting that not a single one of the enemies has initiative 1. So all of my heroes can go first. We are going to take some damage again this time. I believe my red hero is going to take maybe 2. There's nothing that I can do about that. So let's see how it plays out. It's kind of pre-programmed, you know. Once you figure out what you're going to do, it all plays itself out. So the first thing I'm going to do, he's initiative 1. He has to go first. Is he's going to move. He is here. He's going to come up to this room. He is going to use the room. This is the depressurization chamber, which adds 1 to all attacks from this room. But he's only got 1 attack. He's going to shoot for 2. Plus 1 from the room is 3. And I'm going to go ahead and use this for 6. And my target is going to be this boss. So I'm going to hit him for 6. This gets used up. And these dice go. So I hit him for 6. His 8 is reduced to a 2. And we are going to finish him off before he gets to go. So that is Green's turn. And we'll just do this in order. Blue is tanking it up again and playing very defensively. He's going to block 2 abilities. And we had this worked out. We're going to block this shot. And, oh dear, I forget. That punch. Those 2 abilities can be anywhere on the board. The only time that they have to be within or targetable is if that symbol is there. And the bonus here is that one can be anywhere, and this is any 2. And then his shields will stay. She's got initiative 2. She's going to move. Oh, crap. Oh, well, I made an error. She's going to move. She's going to go up. Oh, dear. Depth perception is bad. Let me pause. Let me fix. Okay, fix that. And I also figured out what my original plan was. The blue guy used 2. I am not going to place on this one. Instead, I'm going to take away this one. I hope you guys are kosher with that. And before she moves, she's going to use her ability to move a targetable character for her. She was under here. This guy's targetable. She's going to move him over here. So I apologize for not playing that super cleanly, but it's not too bad. Okay, and then she's going to close 2 vortices down. She's going to use this room up here twice. And we're going to have to pause again here because I don't know which ones I want to close. I should have looked at that when I was cleaning up. The only thing I know, I can't look at the card underneath this guy. So the next guy coming up is the 3rd boss. Remember, there are 6. We've taken care of 2. Oh, we're going to take care of 2 in a moment. Let's take care of that last one before we pause to think about which 2 vortices I'm going to close down. And then this guy, because he is initiative 2, gets to act. And he's going to shoot for 2. He's going to shoot and kill this boss here. And what do we get? +2 to a melee strike, which is pretty good. So he is going to take that I'm going to think about which vortices to shut down, then the enemies get to go. We'll be right back. Okay, I think I'm going to shut down 3 and 4. No real reasons. I don't mind the blue guy getting surrounded too much because he's got great shields, and this guy's going to punch for 4, so we'll see if the blue guy can handle that next round. We're going to have to roll for it a little bit, and we'll destroy the ship. So I'm going to shut down 3, and I'm going to shut down 4. And it is still initiative 2, so we're going to go through these guys and see what they do. This guy's going to punch for 4. I don't know if you recall, but my blue guy is stacked for 4 shields. He's going to move back to where he was, and then he's going to shoot for 3, which goes through and doesn't hit anyone, as the red guy is hiding under here. And blue is at 4 shields. So I'm going to flip his over back to the red side to show that I've activated him. This guy is going to punch for 4. No one's there. Robot cleared out. He's going to shoot for 2. Oh, yeah, there's the 2 I was going to take. And he's going to take 2 damage. I knew I was going to take 2. Okay. And then he is going to move 1. And we'll flip this to show that he has moved. And continuing to go around, this guy is not going to do anything except for move 3. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3. And my blue guy is going to tank all of this stuff next turn. At least that's the plan. Still have to roll. This guy is going to move 1. Oh, we have a dead tie, even with hit points, so that I get to choose. I don't think it matters. This guy's going to punch no one. He's going to move 1. Oh, crap. What's going on here? I did screw up. Maybe my initial plan was better. Oh, well, them's the breaks. He takes 2 more. Farts. I don't know what I did wrong. Oh, well. I must have counted that 2 shot as before he moved. Poop. This guy's going to punch 1, shoot 4. Blue's going to absorb it. And then he's going to move 2. And there is no round D, or phase D, phase 4 cleanup, because there are no grenades and there are no fire tokens in the building yet, or on the spaceship. I closed down my 2 vortices, so those dice up there are done. We are ready to do enemies for turn 3. I'm going to go ahead and pause and upload, and we'll come back with video 2.